This was recorded at Addison, Illinois at Partstown. I was at the CFESA Region 2 meeting and I was asked to help do a presentation on social media, building your brand, and more. I was paired up with Patrick Lewis from Partstown. If you don't know him, he's got a pretty big following and he's a really good guy. To talk about building your brand and helping it grow your business and more. If you don't know, I've had a huge goal of doing some public speaking, and this was a great first step for that, and I really appreciate Partstown and CFESA for asking me to do this. I want to thank General Parts and Limited Service Group and Partstown for always standing behind me and helping me out. Even when I do some bonehead stuff, I promise I'm getting better, guys. I'm sorry. But thank you to Josh Zolan for giving me some tips and tricks. I've heard he's done this a few times, and he's pretty decent at it. I don't know, but he helped me out. Thanks, Josh, as always, man. You are the man. Without further ado, here we go, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, one last thing. My camera did die, and I lost like 5 minutes towards the end, a little bit of question and answer. So I'm sorry about that. Like I said, I'm not perfect at this. I'm trying. I'm a technician out here in the field, just trying to show off what I do. But I am buying an extended battery for next time.
All right, hi everybody. Thanks for having us here today. I am happy to talk about the importance of having a strong online presence. Everything okay?
Oh, no, I was gonna have her turn the camera.
Okay. So your online presence, especially in this day and age, is often the first impression that your company or your brand will give out there on the world. Online presence can give you increased visibility. Social media is now being used as a search engine. People are going to Facebook, they're going to Instagram to search up companies, service technicians, people that they want to help them to see what their reviews and what their company is like. You have an opportunity to demonstrate your expertise without being in person in front of people. Show yourselves as a go-to expert in the field. Social media is going to give you a competitive advantage. It gives you a clear edge over that competition that still has an old, outdated presence, just a simple website with a phone number. It's not showing anything off. You can gain an advantage over those people. It can lead to lead generation, offering a digital way for customers to find you. And it can help you in recruitment by allowing those younger people that are coming up into the fields. They're going to turn to social media when they're job hunting, and it shows those seeking jobs that you are a modern digital company, something that they're going to want to work with. So where do you start? Well, the first thing you always want to do with anything you're doing is you want to set goals. What are you looking to achieve with your online presence? Are you looking for awareness, to drive calls, to attract talent? Then you're going to define your audience. Who is it that you are trying to reach? And above all, you're going to be authentic. You want to show who you are, who is your company, not some generic what you think everybody wants to see. So let's dive into setting goals. So what are you looking to achieve with your online or your social media presence? What content should you be making to achieve that type of goal? So the first goal that you're going to look into is creating awareness for your brand, for your company, for yourself, and telling people who you are, what do you offer, and why they should choose you. So you're going to showcase your brand's differentiators, what sets you apart from the competition, and the content that's out there that people, when they look you up and they see it there in your feed, they see it on your profile, immediately they're going to know this is a company that I'm looking for. For example, at Partstown here with our new campaign here, this is something you might find on our feed that literally just tells you right off the bat that we're going to help you fix it fast. You could be looking to drive service calls, get people to reach out to you when they need you. This is content that you're looking to get in front of a local potential customer. You want to make sure that there are clear calls to action involved in it. And you want to make it easy for them to reach out, not only via phone, but nowadays you want them to be able to reach out via text or even via Facebook Messenger right within the apps that they're looking at your profiles on. And with this type of thing, you're going to have to use some sort of paid media to be sure that you're going to get in front of the right audience. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. The other option you might be looking to do, you might want to attract more talent. You know, we're trying to get more and more people into this field, into getting out there to help fix food service equipment. So you're going to have prospective hires out there that are turning to your social media, looking to see who you are as a company. You can show off your company, show off things like your culture, the perks of working in your company, the environment that these people are going to be working in. This is all stuff that you can post directly into your social feeds, that when people look you up, they're going to see who you are and see that, yeah, this is the kind of company I would like to work with. The next thing we want to do is define our audience. So you're not just going to post for the sake of posting. You need to know who you are looking to reach when you're making posts out there in this digital world. So define that audience. Who is it? Is it restaurant owners? Is it hotel owners? Is it other technicians? You know, what type of business are they in? What are their interests? How do they use social media? If you're looking for people who might be in an older demographic, you might want to lean more towards the Facebook side of things. If you're looking to attract people in a younger demographic, you're looking at Instagram, TikTok. Really make sure that you're posting where the people you want to reach are going to be. And then make sure you target that content to the audience and the channel. If your audience is more serious, it might be something that you want to post on LinkedIn, which is a more business-to-business type of community. You're going to just talk about who you are, what you offer, things like that. Is your audience more fun? You might want to create something a little goofier, something with a pun, a meme, something that can go up on your Facebook or Instagram page to attract those people who are interested in that type of fun content. And as always, we say you have to be authentic in this world. If you are not showing who you are, people will see it immediately from the type of content you're posting. They don't want forced advertisements. They don't want just a block in a field that has, you know, we'll fix kitchen equipment, call this number. That's not what they're looking for. They want to see who you are. They want to see who they're talking to, who they're going to bring into their establishment. Be honest. Show them what makes you you. It builds trust with your audience. For something like this, they want someone they can trust to come into their kitchen and fix their appliances. And it allows them to relate to you too. Hey, that company has a lot of fun stuff going on like we do. That's the kind of company I want to work with. But more importantly, show off your teams. If you own a service company or if you're a manager of a service company, show off your people in your online presence. You can spotlight your team members like we do here, where we say we pick a person, we get some fun information, share their information, show how long they've been in the field, how much work they do, their fun personality. Showcase those people to your prospective customers. And if you have people that are certified, show that off too. You know, talk about how many certifications they have, what equipment they're certified in. Show the people that are going to be coming into their establishment know what they're doing and are going to fix the problem, right? And then never be afraid to show the human side of your business. This is something that's really big with social media right now, is again, show that you are people. You're not just a nameless company coming in. You have people that work there, people that care, people that are fun. Show that off to the world. Let them see who you really are. All right, so the best thing to do next is to talk a little bit about how social media works, because social media changes faster than just about anything I've ever been a part of. And how you keep up with those changes is going to impact on how your online presence goes. So when we talk about social media, we talk about organic social media versus paid social media. Both have a very important aspect of how to use it. And then the algorithm is always the biggest thing that you need to worry about when you're talking social media. So you want to make sales calls. You want people to reach out to you, to come in and say, hey, I need this fixed. Come into my restaurant, come into my kitchen and fix this. When you're posting daily to your feed, the odds of people that need your assistance seeing those posts daily coming up in your feed are very slim to none. The way these algorithms work nowadays, and I don't know how many of you are on social media yourself, you scroll through Facebook, you scroll through Instagram, 90% of what you see in your feed are not people that you follow anymore. It's stuff that Facebook thinks you want to see. And it may be from a company that's in California targeting you because you like something their company does. That does nobody any good. The organic stuff that you're posting out there is for when people are seeking you out. When they come to your Facebook page, to your Instagram page, and they scroll through it, that's where all that stuff that you're posting daily, weekly, whatever cadence it is you're choosing, that's what they're going to see. It should be about who your brand is, what you're going to do to help them, who your people are, all that stuff we talked about earlier. Where you really want to get out there, and if you want to drive calls and drive customers coming from social media, you're going to have to put a little money behind it. And when I say a little, I mean a little. You can do this for $5 a day and get in front of hundreds of people a day for doing this. So it's really the only guarantee that you can have to reach the people that you want to reach. So you have the ability within these platforms to target audiences based on demographics, based on job interests, based on places they work. You put all this information into Facebook, you put a location in, you can say I want people within 10 miles, within 50 miles of this location, and that's where you build your ad out, and that's the kind of post where you are driving home what you do and how they can reach you. You can put a phone number in that ad. You can even have the ad have a messenger button, a WhatsApp button, where they can click right from the ad to send you a message immediately to reach out to you to hire your services. And like I said, this can be as inexpensive as $5 a day, but it is the best way to get your social media in front of the people that you really want to reach. And as for that nasty algorithm, like I was talking about, why do I need to pay for my online presence? It's because the algorithm is determining who's seeing your organic stuff. It's not you anymore. People may click follow on your page. They may want to see your stuff. Unless they're constantly liking, constantly commenting on the posts that they see of you, the channels or the algorithm's going to say they're not interested anymore and stop showing it to them. So your content should be shown to people that when they find you, when they come looking for you, that's what they're going to see. And the algorithms also do favor consistency. So make sure that whatever type of content you decide you're going to do, that you're doing it on a consistent basis. I don't think everybody needs to get into video, making TikToks, making Instagram Reels, making YouTube videos. But if that's something you decide that's going to be good for your company, you need to commit to doing it on a regular basis. This doesn't have to be every day. It could be once a week. It could be every other week. But if you post once and then stop doing it, then the algorithm's going to know that. And the paid ads we're talking about, they bypass all of those algorithms. So it allows you, again, to choose who sees your ad, target people within a certain radius of your location, and they all have that clear call to action. You can tell them to call now, to message now, and they are the way to most likely lead to a service call. And now I've got my friend, Mr. Pat Finley here, who is going to talk about how he uses social media in his life with Commercial Kitchen Chronicles to do all the steps that we've talked about and to get out there in front of people. So take it away, sir.
Thank you, Patrick.
Little arrow button there.
So I got into this by boredom or greed, probably, I should say. I drive a lot. I'm a service tech. I mean, sometimes I drive 2 hours between calls. I was always listening to podcasts, and there was a lot of guys out there talking about electrical, HVAC, plumbing, and there was no one talking about what we do. I started off by using YouTube to kind of show it off a little bit. A little bit what I was doing, try to gauge some interest. Got a little bit of interest, not a whole lot. And then I moved into the podcast. I dumbly one day, I have ADHD, so I'm not gonna lie. I'll post stuff on Facebook to try to hold myself accountable because I feel if it's out there, if someone sees it, I'll hold myself accountable. So one day I said, I'm gonna start a podcast about the food service repair industry. And like everything else I put on Facebook, 2 weeks later I forgot about it and I'm on to something else. And I was walking by Gary Sherman's office. A lot of you guys in here probably know Gary. And he stopped me. He's like, hey, I want to talk about this podcast thing. I was like, oh, they're going to tell me I can't do it. I got it out. He's like, no, we want you to do it. We want to support you and help you do this. And then I was like, man, now I have to do it. So it's been a fun trip. So I saw the opportunity to start this and do this, and I had no idea what I was doing. I've always had Facebook, Instagram. I tried doing Instagram, show off my Jeep stuff, and then I was really inconsistent with it and kind of fell off. Personal Facebook stuff, I used to post stuff I shouldn't post and gotten in trouble in the past. just normal blue collar guy out there. But I really took the opportunity and tried to make something different. I still tweak it, I'm still growing, I'm still changing every single day I'm out there. But I started the podcast, and the very first episode I sat down and I recorded 4 hours talking to myself in front of my camera. I spent 12 hours editing down to 15 minutes worth of video, and I looked like the biggest fool in the world. And I wanted to give up. But I kept going. And I used social media to help grow that. So I was on LinkedIn. I started a LinkedIn account. And oddly enough, that has probably been one of my favorite social media channels. Because it's not all the extra stuff you'll see everywhere else. It's more business people, and it goes that way. So that's how I got started. So I don't think I'm technically the original food service repair podcast. There's several people that say it that came after me, but I know I'm the first one that's technician-based, technician-driven. So we're technicians. I started it. I have 3 co-hosts that kind of work in and out. There 2 are still technicians in the industry. One's a business owner now. The third one actually went to work for facilities management. He works for a big giant restaurant group. He's out there killing it. So what we do is we bring guests on, technicians, office staff, managers, business owners. I've interviewed people from Partstown. Anybody wants to come on and talk about the food service repair industry and their goals, we have them come on. And it's just really a great way to showcase and highlight what this industry is. So my whole purpose is just to grow this industry. It started off as just a greed and as a need of something I wanted, and it's turned into really a passion project. I love this industry. Thinking back 20 years in it, I don't know where I'd be without it. So I really want to share the blessings that this industry has given me to other technicians, to other people who don't know this industry exists. Because you go places, I talk to family members I haven't seen in years, or I talk to people I went to high school with, and they're like, you do what? People do that for a job? I'm like, if you only knew how much money I made doing this, you'd probably change your attitude pretty quick. So it's a great industry, and this is just my way to give back. So we have the podcast. We use YouTube to host a live stream on Wednesday nights. So we have a program I use. We invite guests in. They come on the stream. We have interaction with the audience as long as the audience is interacting. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're goofballs. Sometimes they ask questions about if you wear Crocs or not. I don't know what that's all about. But so we use that, and we kind of bounce things off each other, the co-hosts, the guests, the audience, and that's how I use YouTube. I am putting longer format stuff out there, some videos on how to do some repairs, do some breakdowns and stuff. I've got some pretty good Fry Master videos out there. I've got some pretty good Garland videos out there. I don't want to get too involved in some of that technical stuff because I don't want to say something incorrect that could possibly not be correct or get somebody hurt or some kind of liability. So if you're going to do that kind of stuff, you kind of got to walk that line because you can cross it and get in a little bit of trouble. So I use social media mainly to promote the podcast. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. There's some other ones out there that's blue collar based. I'm on everywhere. I get out there. Monday I try to get out and I post who's my guest. I try to drum some interest. I get a bio for my guest. I write some stuff up. I run it through AI and try to help it make it funny or clever or seem a little better because I'm a tech. I don't have the best spelling. I don't have the best punctuation. If you look at my posts, you're going to see misspellings. And if you do, I wrote that, not ChatGPT. So that's what I do. Monday mornings, I generally get up, I'll be at the gym, and I'll post it at probably the worst time in the world, 5 in the morning on a Monday morning when no one's up. I'll get up and I'll blast it across all social media. I'll have the room created, so they'll have a link. I'll share that link. I'll have a quick, brief bio about the guest, and then sometimes I'll have a video, sometimes I'll have a picture. It just depends on what I feel like for the day. And then that's my Monday morning routine, so that's how I use it to promote the show. Let's see. So we do the show Wednesdays. We have the guests come on. We interview the guests, interact, of course, and then once the show is over, I close the room out, we go back, we talk, like, hey, is there anything I need to take down? I've had a couple of guests that made me take some stuff down because they said something they probably shouldn't have. So I do give that warning that this is live and what you say, is out there, but for manufacturers and other people and business owners, sometimes a lot of times I'll do it not live and we can edit it. That way if they say something like I probably shouldn't have said that, I can clean it up and on the back end to bring it back out. So if I take the clips and I run it through a program I use that finds clips, keywords I can put in there, and it creates anywhere from 15 to a 90-second clip, and I use that on Thursday mornings to promote the show coming out on Friday. So that video lives indefinitely on YouTube as a live stream or as a video I uploaded. And then on Friday mornings, I'll release a podcast for them at 4 in the morning. I know, probably the worst time in the world, but I never said I knew what I'm doing. I just get lucky. So I release it 4 in the morning, and then I'll have a video, a snippet from the show, and I'll tag, let's say Patrick's on, and we're talking about Partstown and social media stuff. I'll tag Patrick at Partstown. I'll tag them. I'll show the video. I'll have the show link. I'll thank them. And if I have sponsors come on or sponsor the show, I'll tag them and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I use the YouTube to kind of promote everything. So it's a visual anchor for what I'm doing. Everything kind of goes back there. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's a visual anchor, so everything's hosted there and goes back there, but I post the same thing everywhere. So I probably do a ton of things I shouldn't do from what Patrick, does, but I've done this all by luck and just dedication. I'm just genuine, I'm authentic. I've worked with a lot of companies, and I want to show it off. But I've been starting to do some point of view stuff. There's a ton of wearable tech out there now that makes it a lot easier. It's kind of weird sitting in front of a McDonald's fryer and having a camera set up or having something clipped onto you. So there's a ton of wearable tech out there that I'm starting to use. I've got the Meta glasses. I've got the little Insta 360S I clip on my hat. It looks like a light. Everyone thinks it's a light. They're like, oh, it's a cool flashlight. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I've been doing a lot of point of view. So I post that on YouTube in a longer format, and then I chop it up and I make shorts that I use on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and that kind of stuff. So the good thing about YouTube is it's out there forever. I've got people going back to my videos from like 3 years ago comment and ask me questions about how I fixed a fryer or a grill or something. I'm like, people are still looking at that? And I go, look, I'm like, this thing had a huge jump in like the last 3 weeks for no reason whatsoever. And I don't know why or how, but I mean, it works. So like I said, that YouTube's there forever, so it's long-term, it's searchable. One video might reach 200 texts, and another video may reach the tech it needs to reach. I've got some videos where I've got 2 million views, not on YouTube, I wish, but on TikTok, and I've gained 9 followers. I don't get it. I'm not smart enough to sit down and figure out the algorithms. I just try to have fun with it. So what has worked well? Authentic content. Authentic means I have that connection with the audience. I never try to portray someone I am not. I always try to make sure I'm showing who I am. I show my mistakes, I show my failures, I show my successes. I don't ever want to come off as someone that knows everything. Thank you. Because I do not know everything. I am very lucky at finding information. I tell everybody, they're like, how do you know this? I don't know it, I just know where to find the information. One of my biggest tricks I've used for, I don't know how many years the Partstown app's been out, is Partstown app, because everything's on there. I can look up and see what a part is, I can look and see part manuals, service manuals. If it's on there, that's my first place I go, and if not, I turn to Google, turn to the manufacturers. I've made a lot of great connections over the years, and I reach out to those people, but I just got really lucky. So I always try to be authentic. I've had manufacturers of tool companies want me to rep their stuff and make a positive video, and I've gotten it in, and like, I wouldn't use this, I can't do this, I can't go out in good faith and make a video saying how great this thing is if I wouldn't use it, if I just throw it away. I've had some companies reach out to me about software for jobs, how to I won't say the name of the company, but they do software for tracking jobs, invoicing and stuff like that. I'm like, look, I work for this company, we use Davisware, I have no information about what you guys do, I have nothing to offer you. And then they ghost me. They don't even reply back, thanks for being honest. They just ghost me, and it is what it is. I'm never going to portray to be something I'm not, and that's what you want your guys to do, or you to do. Behind the scenes, daily works makes you relatable, especially with technicians. I'm showing what it's like to be behind that fryer, be behind that grill, be up on the roof in the heat, being in that freezer when it's -10. That equals relatability, so that helps build the relationship with your audience as well. So brand collabs, I've worked with a lot of companies over the last few years. I was fortunate enough to do the Rigid Experience. If you're a plumber, you know a plumber, the Rigid Experience is kind of a big deal. So I was able to do that. I've worked with Refrigeration Technologies. They make chemicals and cleaners that service our industry. I've worked with RLS, they make refrigeration fittings. I've worked with a handful of companies, but like I said, I'm only gonna work with the companies that I would use or I would, I wanna use. I'm not gonna sell out for a free tool if it's something I'm not gonna use. I'll just send it right back to them. Industry memes, humor, and build personality. I love some good industry memes. Unfortunately, Pat's called me once and said, please take that down. And it was really funny, but I got in trouble. So it's not the first or last time I've been in trouble, I will say that. But I try to walk that line a little too close sometimes, and occasionally my little pinky toe steps over and then I get in trouble. But memes about the industry are always great, especially if you're a technician, you're out there trying to build something or show something. That just shows you're relatable, shows you have a sense of humor. You're not just a robot out here fixing stuff. And then identifying opportunities and being authentic goes back to what is your goal? My goal with Commercial Kitchen Chronicles is to build this industry and to highlight technicians. I love this industry. When I say that, I mean I am being 100% serious. 20 years ago when I first got this job, I spent 2 weeks training. Robert Harris bounced, but he was actually one of my trainers 20 years ago. They'll probably deny it. But I spent 2.5 weeks in a truck, and they were like, just let him go, he'll figure it out. And ever since then, I've been in love with this job, this industry, and everything about it. The people, the manufacturers. So I just want to show it off. So no one was covering us, the food service repair industry, so that was my goal. I started showing it off. I found what others weren't saying about it, and I said it. Go out there and just, I'm 100% positive. I don't get negative. I don't bash brands. If I don't know something about a brand, I'm not gonna be one of those guys on Facebook, they're like, oh, this thing's junk. Well, it's junk because you don't know how to work on it, you've never worked on it, you're looking from the outside in. So I always try to be positive. You never know who's watching or who's gonna engage, and try to keep that positive outlook on things. Sorry. All right, and then share your journey, not just your wins. I will show me getting my butt kicked. I will show me putting a part on wrong and have to take it all back apart. Like I said, people will interact with your failures, and you're just going to have to accept it. Like, I've got negative feedback on stuff, and when I first started, I'd delete their comments because, like, oh, I don't want that on here. And then someone told me, any engagement is good engagement. So now when someone talks crap, I give them a thumbs up, or I tell them thanks for their opinion, have a good day. And most of the time, they leave you alone. So I show my wins and my losses. Consistent voice across all platforms. I'm consistent with what I am putting out there, and I put it across everything. I just make sure I don't share the watermark, because sometimes if you bounce from platform to platform, that watermark, they'll kind of flag you a little bit, I think. I'm not sure, but that's just what I heard. And then oh, come on, Pat. Whatever. And perfection, and perfection every time. People want real, and just be yourself. I mean, that's all I can tell you. Be yourself and have fun. I will tell you, let me see what the next slide is. I have a friend that recently started a business a year ago, and I met him on LinkedIn, and he did something I didn't approve of, and I was like, hey, let's not do this, because you're gonna get in trouble, or you're gonna get me in trouble, and I won't be able to do this anymore. But he started a business, and he's big on LinkedIn. That's his favorite platform, and it has caused him an extreme amount of growth. The relationships he's built with manufacturers, other service companies in the area, facilities management groups, it's just paid off. So be yourself and just show your work off, and the rest will come.
And I think the best thing that Pat has done with what he does is that right there. Be himself, show off who he is, be authentic, be true. While I don't know that there would be very many people in this room who would start a podcast or a full-blown YouTube channel, what he's learned from those types of posting can be related to any type of posting you're going to do online, whether it's an image, a video, an audio file. It's all the same thing. Be authentic, be who you are. And I think the best thing you said in your whole presentation was he might have a post reach 2 million people, or he might have a post that reaches the one person that he needed to reach. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that if you get a post and it gets to the person that needs to see it and calls you or comes to work for you or whatever it may be, then that post was a success. Don't look at how many people see your posts, because like we talked about, that algorithm, it's going to be messed up, it's going to be crazy. Look at, are you getting success where you want success? Are you getting calls? Are they mentioning your social media? Are they liking your posts? That's what you really want to look at. You may get 15 people to see something, but 5 of them are going to reach out to you, and that is a complete win. That is better than 100 people seeing it and nobody reaching out to you. So be yourself, really focus on what makes you you, and you will definitely be a step ahead of those people who are not using social media at all for their industry, for themselves, for their company.
As a technician out there, I will tell you, every time I see a company or Parts Town or someone showing off their employees, they got a new certificate or they got a new achievement or something happened or an anniversary, I will like that post every single time, because I'm a technician and I know what it's like to feel like you're just a number. But when you see companies showing off their technicians, their employees, their crew, it really hits home with me. So that's a really good, a really good thing to do.
And I think that's all we have, so if anyone has any questions, anything we covered too fast, I know I tend to talk quickly when I'm nervous, sorry about that.
Yeah, me
but,
too.
If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them for you.
I was curious, like, when you're doing like a video in a restaurant, how do you avoid airing the dirty laundry of that restaurant?
That is, dude, I've got probably 5,000 hours of footage between phones and hard drives that I can't use. The bad thing is everything in a restaurant's branded, like the napkins. I guess people's restaurant videos on YouTube by the floor tile. I'm like, oh, you're at a Buffalo Wild Wings, or you're at a Dairy Queen, or you're at a McDonald's, just by the floor tile. So you have to be careful. Everything's branded. Even a fryer at a Buffalo Wild Wings, the prefix is BW for Buffalo Wild Wings. Like you have to watch out. So I try not to show anything that says where I'm at, especially if it's going to be a dirty video or something. I mean, you pull a fryer out to get behind it to work on it, and what do you find? You find their boats, their little fryer boats, or that's yellow and black. I'm just picking on Buffalo Wild Wings for some reason today. I love them, so I'm not picking on them, but it's just an easy one to relay. But you'll see that boat, that yellow and black boat on the ground behind the fryer. It's like, well, I can't use that now. I'm trying to blur it out, but even if you pixel it out, it's still yellow and black. They know where you're at. So you have to be really careful. Because that's out there. Someone could see that by just dumb luck passing and scrolling, figure out who you are, who you work for, call your boss, and next thing you know, you got Patrick from Parts Town calling you, like, hey, take that down.
I also think if you are doing video, shoot everything in 4K.
Yeah.
Because then you have a much bigger opportunity to crop and zoom without losing resolution. So if you're filmed in 4K and you're at a wider angle and you notice something in the background that you don't want to show, you can crop that down and still have an HD visual that's clear and able to be used.
A lot of times you'll see my videos, I'll jump around. That's because like someone walked by, and I don't like putting people's faces on there because you don't know anything about those people. People may have something they don't want to be on camera. They may be wanted by the police. I mean, who knows? But you don't want to put people's faces out there because, some people freak out about that kind of stuff. So I try not to get anybody's faces. I try not to get anybody's voices. But it's hard, man. Every restaurant you go into, there's music blaring. And as soon as you throw it up on YouTube, 20 seconds later, you get an email, you're copyright struck. You can't make money on that video because there's some song playing in the background. So people always laugh at me when I put these weird songs in there because they're free. I'm like, well, I don't get copyright struck if I do this, but then it's context. It's kind of weird. I don't like talking over videos. I don't like recording and then go back talking over it. I feel so weird. But it's fun. But just be careful. You don't want to show anything branded. You don't want to show anybody's faces. And you definitely don't want to air out any dirty laundry. That's why I try to stay positive. I mean, mistakes happen, and you're going to show some of the stuff that's out there just because it's awareness, but just do your best not to lead on to where you're at.
Anybody else?
Pat, you got a full-time job, so how many hours a week do you spend on this?
Well, I work 50 to 60 hours a week, and I spend every waking moment besides when I'm asleep or so I do anywhere 20 to 40 hours a week on this on top of working 50 to 60 hours a week.
And do you answer every one of your comments?
I try to. I feel guilty if I don't. That's just me as a person. So I try to. I'll have old comments pop up. That's why I said I had a video someone like 3 years ago, someone commented and I went and replied back. I try to engage back with everybody just because I feel like I followed some big name accounts and like that's what they were doing. They're engaging with everybody and it helped drive the engagement back. But I feel guilty if you're going to take the time to like my video and ask me a question. I'm going to try to answer it to the best of your abilities. And I have a lot of time people will ask me troubleshooting tips and stuff. And I'm like, hey, send me a DM. We can talk about it in DM. I've given my phone number out. I think my phone number is actually on my website. So people have called me for tech support. I will help anybody out. That's why I said the whole purpose of me doing this is to grow this industry. I want to get as many technicians as I can out there. I mean, both of my sons, 19 and 20 years old, are technicians that work with me every single day. And I wouldn't let them work in this industry if I didn't think it was going to be rewarding and fulfilling for them.
Anybody else?
This is a statement. Just because Pat spends 20 to 30 hours a week on his social doesn't mean that
No.
your social program can't be maybe more manageable and or, again, from a goal perspective, just wanting to get your company's name and culture and brand out there so you get trust and loyalty and followers and leads from it. Again, it can be what you need it to be for your business.
Yeah, the podcast takes anywhere 5 to 10 hours on its own. So that's a big, huge time